Well, welcome to Tony's super cheap camping trip. Now, in this trip, I went on Amazon and I bought the cheapest things that I could find. And the plan of this trip is to see how well each item performs. Now, excuse the kilt. It is a kilt, it's a Mountain Laurel Designs rain kilt. But we're primarily in this trip looking at sleeping bag, tent, cooking pot, gas burner, and a mat for sleeping on. All of which £90, cheaper than most individual items that I have in my repertoire. The sleeping bag, £18, and it weighs 800 grams. Reasonable for a synthetic sleeping bag. The reason why I'm wearing the kilt is because I'm in camp and I've got my nighttime undies on. So I'm kind of like trying to make sure that things are covered up. What we're going to do is we're just going to get into the sleeping bag. Because we're doing it kind of outside because there's a bit more room. Okay, so it kind of covers almost my head, kind of, almost. I mean, if I keep my head up straight, then it comes to my eyebrows, and I'm 5'8". There's no draw cord on it, but it does, I must admit, it does kind of sort of snug up around you quite well. And I have to say, for £18 is not bad at all, and I did sleep very well in it last night. It was comfortable, cozy, warm enough. It's late July, so it's not cold. It's called an Out There envelope style sleeping bag, polyester, adult sleeping bag, 2-season sleeping bag. I would say it's probably a 2-season. I would say it's like late spring, summer, maybe a warm, very warm early autumn, but I'd say more 2-season, well, 2-season, late spring into summer, but then our summers can be quite cold too. It's 180 centimeters long, and it's 75 centimeters wide. Now, that's actually quite good because I like to have room inside a sleeping bag. I like to be able to bend my knees and move my legs around and move my knees, and I don't like tight mummy style sleeping bags. So if you get claustrophobic inside a sleeping bag, this is actually probably, and you're only going in the summer months, this is quite surprisingly, it was surprisingly cozy actually. You do get a Velcro tab there. As I said, it was 800 grams, which for a synthetic bag is not that bad. I've got a -5 down sleeping bag that I use in the winter here, which is about 800 grams, but then that's much more professionally, technically made. Look at the reviews. My 5-year-old loved it. Well, no wonder I'm enjoying it then. I'm not doing this for Amazon affiliate links below. Actually, I'm not, to be honest. I just wanted to do something a bit different, but I'll try and do an affiliate link for it below. But yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that until just now. So, anyway, so yeah, this was a very, very surprisingly, yeah, this was of all the items that I've got. Mind you, the airbed's quite nice too for what it is. The tent, well, the tent will kind of the tent's the tent. Yeah, the stove works fine too. The stove works well. But I must admit, this sleeping bag is really quite cozy. I mean, if you just want a lightweight, cheap, £18 for this. £18 for this. And I must admit, it really was quite, I really did see what, and I was able, even without the draw cord on it, you know, I could still pull it around my neck a bit. Like I said, it's not cold. I mean, I'm not overly warm, just bearing in mind I've got a warm, insulated Arc'teryx jacket, you know, underneath. It's, you know, I'm not overly warm, you know, out here in it, but so, you know, it's a sleeping bag. It's a cheap synthetic sleeping bag. I might actually even go, oh no, you probably couldn't zip it up because it won't, no, you couldn't zip it together because it doesn't come apart there. So no, you couldn't zip two of these together. You know, you could certainly cover it, turn it into a quilt and have a quilt, and you could theoretically put it over the top of another sleeping bag for extra warmth or something like that. It looks like the filling is sewn through. So the filling is sewn here. So that of course will reduce its warmth marginally, but not much, to be honest. It does a good job, and I think it would. I'll have a look and see what the temperature is here. It's about 15 degrees and it was fine for that. I probably wouldn't be going much below 10 in it. I think it would be too cold. It's synthetic, so obviously it doesn't squish down as much as a down, and it doesn't squish down as much as my Mountain Laurel Designs quilt, which is significantly lighter. And very technical, obviously, but it, you know, it cinches down, you know, small enough. It was warm, it was comfortable, and yes, if you just want a lightweight-ish, 800 grams, you know, and you're going to be camping in late May, June, July, August, maybe early September, and it's not going to go below 10. Even 10 you might get cool if you're a cold sleeper, but if it's going to be like 10, 15 plus degrees, it's probably a good cheap option, you know, if you're looking for something cheap for just some basic summer camping. It's probably worth looking at. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. I do other camping things, mainly using more expensive equipment, usually on Dartmoor. I'll try and get to the lakes sometime, fingers crossed.